issue was one that I really identify with, and I mean, I kind of have my own theories on, so I'm going to try not to like impose that too much on the reading. I'm just going to try and do the reading first, and then I'll maybe add my own thoughts at the end, if that's okay, if I have any, if anything comes to mind. But yeah, I'm not going to really go into too much detail about your issue as you explained it to me, but I'll just kind of speak about my own experience in similar areas, if it seems relevant. So first I'm just going to do the reading. So this first one will be your an overview of your situation and the forces, the elements at play that may sort of be hidden. Might offer you a little bit of insight, hopefully. Okay. Next is your challenge that you're facing. Okay, and finally your action called for. So we've got your overview, challenge, and action, and these are all upright. This one doesn't have a reversed, so I'm just going to read the upright interpretations and then see if I have any thoughts on it afterwards, okay? So your first one is for the rune Tewaz, which is that one. This is the rune of the spiritual warrior. Always the battle of the spiritual warrior is with the self. Funding a will through action, yet unattached to outcomes. Remaining mindful that all you can really do is get out of your own way and let the will of heaven flow through you. These are among the hallmarks of the spiritual warrior. Embodied in this rune is the energy of discrimination, the sword-like quality that enables you to cut away the old, the dead, the extraneous. And yet with the warrior rune comes certain knowledge that the universe always has the first move. Patience is the virtue of this rune, and it recalls the words of St. Augustine, that the reward of patience is patience. Here you are asked to look within, to delve down to the foundations of life itself. Only in so doing can you hope to meet the deepest needs of your nature and tap into your most profound resources. The molding of character is at issue when you draw Tewaz. Associated with this rune are the sun, masculine energy, the active principle. The urge for conquest is powerful here, especially self-conquest, which is a lifelong pursuit and calls for awareness, single-mindedness, and the willingness to undergo your passage with compassion and in total trust. When this rune comes in response to a relationship issue, it indicates that the relationship is both timely and providential. The bond is a real one. There is work for you to do together. If the issue concerns devotion to a cause, an idea, or a path of conduct, the warrior rune counsels perseverance, although at times the kind of perseverance called for is patience. A rune of courage and dedication. In ancient times, Tewaz was the glyph that warriors painted on their shields before battle. Now the same symbol strengthens our resolve to align the self with the self. Align yourself with your highest good. That's kind of what that means. Okay. Now your challenge is Jera, which is harvest, I believe. Okay. A rune of beneficial outcomes. Jera applies to any activity or endeavor to which you are committed. Be aware, however, that no quick results can be expected. A span of time is usually involved, hence the keywords 1 year, symbolizing a full cycle before the reaping, the harvest, or deliverance. You have prepared the ground and planted the seed. Now you must cultivate with care. To those whose labor has a long season, a long coming to term, Jera offers encouragement of success. Know that the outcome is in the keeping of providence, and continue to persevere. Remember the old story about the farmer who was so eager to assist his crops that he went out at night and tugged on the new shoots. There is no way to push the river. Equally, you cannot hasten the harvest. Be mindful that patience is essential for the recognition of your own process, which in its season leads to the harvest of the self. Okay. And then, algaes is your action called for, which is protection. 111. Control of the emotions is at issue here. During times of transition, shifts in life course, and accelerated self-change, it is important not to collapse yourself into your emotions, the highs as well as the lows. New opportunities and challenges are typical of this rune, and with them may come trespasses and unwanted influences. Algaes serves as a mirror for the spiritual warrior, the one whose battle is always with the self. The warrior's protection is like the curved horns of the elk, or the warning rustle of the sedge grass, for both serve to keep open space around you. Remain mindful that timely right action and correct conduct are your only true protection. If you find yourself feeling pain, observe the pain. Stay with it. Do not try to pull down the veil and escape from life by denying what is happening. You will progress. Knowing that is your protection. Okay, so, okay, well, what I get out of that is, you've recognized aspects of your past behavior and how you've acted towards people and how you have dealt with life that you don't want to do anymore. You don't want to repeat them, and I can really identify with that fear, having watched myself do things that ended up hurting the people that I care about or causing extra unnecessary pain to myself, making things more difficult. It can be disheartening sometimes when you see yourself kind of slipping into old patterns, and I don't know about you, but I sometimes feel, helpless and powerless to, even though I know that something is not going to produce results that are anything like what I want, and, I know that, that I don't want to be responding in the same way anymore. Sometimes, it can be hard to break those habits. But I think that the key is just, like it says in there, when you feel pain, stay with it, observe it. Because a lot of the things that we do, I think, whether it's acting out of anger or being, I don't know, controlling or abusive or needy, whatever, insert label here kind of thing. I think that all of those are knee-jerk reactions to feeling discomfort and pain within ourselves and not really wanting to look at it, being afraid of it, and just wanting to feel comfortable again as quickly as possible. So we react in the first, most obvious way, most logical way, and those things become our defense mechanisms, and it can take a lot of courage and a lot of trust to kind of interrupt that connection. And if you feel pain, if you feel threatened or hurt, try to just intervene at that point, whether it means removing yourself from a situation and you need to, take some time to cool off or whatever. But if you take a look at that pain and try and ask yourself, what am I telling myself about me that's causing me to feel this way? Whatever has just happened to trigger whatever response, whether it's anger or depression or whatever. What is that thought really telling me about myself? And, that is sort of, I think anyways, that's kind of what is underneath of a lot of our behavior that we aren't even aware of. And the more we can have the courage to look at those things in ourselves and, try and become comfortable with those parts of ourselves, then those things that threaten you won't be so threatening, and you can start to exercise a little bit of active participation in your own sort of emotional process, if that makes any sense. I don't know, you're not doomed to repeat the same things, you just, it just might take a little bit of time for you to prove to yourself that you do have a choice, that you can handle things differently, and what that involves is changing the thinking that's underneath those behaviors. There's really no, it talks in your reading here about patience and, it being kind of a long process of small shifts, and that's really, I think, how it works. It's not an overnight thing, and it can be really hard to be patient and secure within yourself while you're going through this process of learning new ways to cope with things, and feeling like, if something sets you off in the meantime before you kind of have everything mastered, you run the risk of falling back on old behaviors. And I know that that's a scary thing, but you never are presented with more than you can handle, and if you're committed to being honest with yourself and the people in your life, you will be able to navigate the challenges without slipping back into what you're afraid of, I think. Yeah, I don't know. That's a little bit vague, maybe. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to not, refer to your issue specifically. I can't remember if you asked me to keep it confidential or not, but I just feel like if I can try and address it without being too specific, that might be better. So, I'll send you a message when I finish this, and yeah, if you're seeing this, you've probably already read my message, so anyways, I really do wish you the best, and I have faith in you. The fact that you are looking at yourself and looking at these things in your life is a really good sign, and I think that you have all the tools that you need to hang on to the things that are important to you, and you just gotta learn to trust that, and the only way you can do that is by just doing it. You know, it's like a muscle that needs to be strengthened, that faith in yourself. Just keep proving to yourself in little ways that that you are able to take responsibility for the way that you respond to life, and yeah, before you know it, you'll have, you know, confidence in yourself, and then that will